Okay, gotta go find my seal. Okay, we're gonna do our seal checking. So I think rear exhaust is the tightest one we had for our coil bind. So what we have is we have a Keyline seal. These are 300 tall on the inside. So you have 381 there, top of the lip, 410. The only problem when you put this install, it squeezes up. It goes about 425 to 430. Okay, now on the inside here, going like this, we should be at 300. 290. Whoop, get down where you can see it. Check it again, because I never trust these calipers to be accurate the first time. 291, we're repeating at 290. Should be 300, but anyway, close enough. Okay, so we need 300,000 to get full engagement onto a valve guide. I always figure it's 125 above this we need for clearance. The problem is when you put this on the guide, this lip gets in the way. We don't have 300,000 showing, see? So the seal is going to hit against this and not against the top of the guide, which means we're getting in the way of clearances for the other side. Looks like I got about 265 above the guide, so I need to cut off 30 thou there. Now we get our seal. Okay, next thing you got to figure out is our clearances to the retainer, because the retainer is going to hit the seal and go boom. So what you do is you take your collar, stick it on, take your two keepers, put them on, and we got to get some kind of an idea where how much height we're going to have in here. Here, I'm just going to go like that, hold up my fingers, come on either side, and the keeper groove is right here. You can see the keeper groove. And it's actually, the keeper groove is below the collar by quite a bit. So that's going to be our built-in clearance. If you want to measure it, you can go in there and try to measure that clearance. Looks to me like it's a good 30 thou. Maybe even a little more. The other thing is this here will sit up inside the collar. See the big hole in here? The seal actually goes up in there. So we don't really have to count that because it goes up inside. The disadvantage is when this goes up and down, you get a pumping action again. I don't like that pumping action, so we don't want it to be way up in there. The other problem is this is cut under. So when you come off the edge of the valve right here, the seal opens up and lets oil in. Once again, it becomes a pump. So on this taper with the valve, a little bit of taper on a chamfer up in here, we gotta get our measurement right from the top of this. Is where we gotta come from. So we're not going to bottom out inside of here. We're going to run off the end of the valve. So that's our upper limitation above the valve. So we got 125 thou between the top of the seal lip and where the top of the collar is going to be at. Coming off of this surface right here. So you get all those numbers figured out? Okay, so that goes in there like that. We also have something called valve lift, because the valve goes up and down. See? We know that's roughly 400,000. Even though it's 390, we know that on the intake. So this sits right here. So you need 390 plus 125. How much is that? It's a little over 500. So here's, this is half-inch thick, 500. So right off the bat, you can see how that we are above top of our collar, see, by quite a bit. Got a problem. Guide's too tall. Seal's taller than guide. Another problem. So the guide needs to be shortened and the collar needs to be shortened. That's why I cut that lip off the things. Gives us our clearances we need. Okay, so what was our number we had? We had 390. And plus 125.125 equals 390 inches. I think we had a wrong number. 0.39 plus 0.125. 515. I'm going to take a little over 500. So we need 515. Now you should also have some clearance in there Usually you figure another 50 to be safe, but 30 is better. So you add in 0.03. So we need 545 on the intake. Now we already know the exhaust is another 15 or so below that. I don't even calculate that in. So we need roughly 550 thousandths clearance. So that means we need 515 from this top of this chamfer or bottom of it to the guide. We need 550. We have way less than 550. We have like maybe 500 at best. So I put the scale on there, and it's not. It's more like 480. So that means we need to cut off 50 thou minimum off the top of this guide. Minimum 50 thou off. And we need to cut 50 off the collar, so we got to cut 100 off the collar. That would be the whole collar is going to be gone. That's why I cut the lip off. Okay, this guide here is around 470-ish high. That needs to go down to 420. Minimum. Maybe slightly more. At least 420. So that's why I usually cut these things down around 430 here, and I cut the collar off. That's your rough numbers. Now these seats are up pretty high, that's why we don't have as much room. Now this exhaust does not open up as much as the intake valve, so we gain a little bit of room there. So I don't have to quite cut this as much as the intake. The intake I do have to bury it in there pretty good. So these ones I'll probably cut to about 430-ish or so, because they have a little extra room. But 425 is a good number. The intake I'm going to wind up cutting probably down to 410, because I need a little extra. But only on the one. And that would be on the front head, not this head. This head has extra clearance, remember? Guide sits up taller. So we take out this valve. Put these parts back where they belong over there. I'm not sure what happened to the keepers right now. Keepers. Right there. Okay, this is our intake valve. This one should be a lot deeper. So same 1/2 inch scale. See how we're good on the valve? It's not over that edge. So this one only needs 50 thou more, which is going to be roughly the same as exhaust because we're about 575. So we cut this one to 425 number. So this intake's going to be the same as exhaust. This one over here, we're going to have to be cut more. This is our worst one for clearance. So, see how the scale is about flush with the bottom, so we need a little extra. So we'll cut this one a little bit, maybe 410-ish. Get an extra 15 in there. This one actually looks pretty good on there. We got almost a 1/2 inch, but I'm going to cut this one out like the 410. The other three I'll cut to 425. And when everything goes together, we should be good. So these are all dimensions we have to figure out. Now the tool that we cut it with is a seal cutter. It's over here. These are seal cutters. This one's for a big twin. 80-inch, 74-inch. These cut the pockets at the bottom of the head where they cut the collars away. These are the cutters that actually do that cutting. Here's another one, different sizes. Could have different ones for different applications. Those also work on cars for some models. Okay, over here we have other seat cutters, seal cutters. So we have one here. There's another one here. See different sizes. So this one's for an Evo. This is for an iron head. This one's iron head exhaust, bigger stem. Different stem sizes, 5/16, 11/32. Cutter's the same. So they're in the same cutter. So this gives you the dimension of the cuts to 530. We have two different stems. This one here is for an Evo. See, it says 420. One of the spots does, whatever number, which one ever was, because it's a smaller seal. It has a 5/16 stem. So the pilot's the same as the other one, but the cutter's different. Here's a seal difference. It's an Evo seal. It's an ironhead seal. Different. More confusing. 74. Same seal. Same guide size. Different hole size. 3/8, 5/16. See the difference? They don't mix. 80 inch. These are 80 inch. Everything's bigger. This is 5/8, 3/8 hole. So this has the same hole as the other one, but the whole seal's bigger. So you can't mix and match all these different things. Now when you're doing race bikes, like Scream Eagle heads, this is the seal that they use. Sportster ironhead, intake. Same size, 5/16 stem, small guide. Big guide for an Evo anyway. So anyway, that's why you have all these different ones. The real problem is when you come to the modern bikes, the modern gasket sets, they give you this big ass seal here instead of a little thin one. There's no room for this. We're having trouble making room for this. This is 125 tall. This is 175 tall. Gotta go another 50 thou shorter to make room for this seal. That's why I never use these pieces of crap. They don't work. Every time I see in a bike, they're crushed because the retainer comes out and nails them. Wonder why they use oil. So these things just don't work. They work in the Evos with tall ass valve stems, but on ironheads, panheads, and shovel heads, these things don't work. And that's what they give you in the gasket sets because they're stupid. But whatever. I'm sure they work for some application, but not one I have. Well, there you go. So that's why you have all these different things over here. So then you get into racing stuff. It's different again. Here's racing stuff. More odd sizes. 803, it's a car size, but it also works in the XL intake. But it doesn't fit because it's too tall. See, it's one of those tall seals. No good. Just because it fits on a stem and everything doesn't mean it works. Alright, so there you go. You're educated on how to screw up heads. So, we learned about cam lift, spring coil bind, installation heights, and also the seal problems. There you go. These things are just throw together quickly. We just spent an hour, at least. I think we spent over an hour just measuring stuff. I ain't done anything yet. Okay, I'm it for tonight. It's 11 o'clock back there right now. You look way down there. It says the clock says 11 o'clock. So, time to go home. So tomorrow I'll come in and clean this all up because I haven't cleaned these yet. First I got to cut the guide. I'll cut the guide with a cutter. Then I'll go clean them. Then we'll do assembly. And we'll double check everything after we assemble it because we want to make sure it's all right. There you go. That's how you do iron heads. Nice and slow. Many hours. I don't charge for half the hours. Oh well. There you go.